Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakagadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and blessing salutations, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Barakatham, to the hopefully elect. So, I just make this a real, brief, quick lesson, through the spirit, because there's a lot coming out from Iran right now, and we'll get into this video and the article as well, but news is coming out basically saying that allegedly the U.S. through Israel has struck some Iranian nuclear sites, that there's been strange explosions in Iran, Now, we know about a week and a half ago that America and the small hats, they was planning to go up in Iran, but then they called it off, all right, because they pretty much got exposed for inciting a coup in that nation, stirring up civil war through their CIA agents, right? Even some of them got executed as well. So since that whole narrative fell apart, now, they got to straight go in with the sword. Okay, you got all kind of destroyer ships that are heading that way. Okay, they got aircraft carriers to where what they plan to do is just non-stop bomb Iran. Okay, just constant bombardment, man. You see what I'm saying? Until they are able to get up in there. And that's why over the past 2 weeks, Russia and China, they've been flying in air defense systems into Iran to defend against the American aerial superiority. Okay, we gotta keep in mind that Esau, he's the eagle. Okay, so he got the air game on lock. But with help from Russia and China, Iran has a better defense against what America's gonna do. So what America plans to do is they plan to bomb the hell out of Iran until they exhaust their capabilities. You see what I'm saying? So we'll see if Iran can withstand this, but this is just furthering the war tensions in that region, man. This is leading to, a broader regional war over there. All right, so let's check this out.
Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from today. I'm filming this on January 27th, and we have a interesting developing situation out of Iran as multiple mysterious explosions have been reported at a military site in Iran. This comes as the United States appears to be on the brink of striking the Islamic dictatorship, as well as flooding in resources into the country. We also now have more information about a secretive plane that the United States is activating to get in on the mix with Iran. So we're going to cover that in the back half of the video. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. So we have a ton of moving parts. We have a ton to discuss. Before we get into it, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free, costs you guys nothing at all, and is a huge, huge, huge boost to the channel. Comment with your thoughts below. What do you think about the mysterious explosions? What do you think comes next? Do you think President Donald Trump will order the United States to strike? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that notification bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead. X D Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. My DMs are wide open. Please reach out with whatever you got. Now, let's get into it. The United States, as I've said many times, and Iran are clearly on a war footing against each other. Iran is scrambling its military assets around the country. It has split up its missiles and drones locations so that if the United States strike, that they will have some ability to fire back with a second strike capability. The United States is around the clock rushing in air defense systems, fighter jets, cargo planes, refueling tankers. And then I said we've got a secretive spy recon plane that is in the mix that I'm going to discuss at the end or in the back half of this video. You don't move this much stuff unless you plan on using it. You don't rush this much air power into an area unless you plan on using it. So Iran is panicking. Khomeini has been moved. The dictator has been moved to a bunker, they believe, somewhere in Tehran. And all the data points point to this situation kicking off in a big, big, big way. Now, when will the bombs start falling? Much like with Venezuela, I said I do not know. I still remain convinced it will happen on a Friday night or the weekend, not on a regular weekday night. But I don't know. Believe it or not, the CIA doesn't call me and ask my opinion. But now, very interesting. Let me put this on the screen for you. Very interesting. As of the morning of January 27th, East Coast time here in America, we have 2C TV, which is a great Iranian-focused news outlet commentator, says breaking explosions at Iran's Parchin nuclear site confirmed by IRGC Quds unit. The Quds unit, of course, the Quds force, of course, is one of Iran's elite military units. Maybe its most elite component of the IRGC. So as of January 27th, this morning, we are waking up to news that there have been explosions reported at the Parchin Military Center. Now, Iranian-based journalists reporting the same thing at 5:10 Eastern. Parchin Military Complex explosions. Behnam Gulapar reporting that these...
Yeah, so that's pretty much... just a brief examination of what's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So stuff is already going down in Iran, and, Iran is going to respond. All right? And whatever the response is, because, they're just not going to do nothing. But, hey, once America officially declares to go in, all right, that's when all bets are off, man. You know what I'm saying? That's when a full-scale war is going to break out over there. All right, so then when you get this article right here, right, this is from the Jerusalem Post. Trump announces additional beautiful armada heading towards Iran, tells regime make a deal. So this is a threat. All right, America is threatening Iran. All right, so they showing military force. They saying, look, either you gonna make a deal, or we're going to have to do this the hard way, okay, which means bringing the sword, okay, going to war, man. All right? So this is an intimidation factor. But Iran, they're not backing down because they have the support of Russia and China. You see? United States President Donald Trump announced the armada and stated that he hopes Iran will, quote, make a deal during a speech in Iowa. And see, this shows you right here that if Esau, he can't penetrate your nation, buy out your leaders, if he can't stage a coup, set up a revolution in your country under false pretense, then his last resort is to go to the sword, man. All right? Because, in regards to Iran, nothing else has worked. So this is the last resort. Like, listen, we're going to send a, battleship armada over there. Okay, we're going to, activate troops that are in that region. You see what I'm saying? To come against you because you don't want to allow us to dominate you pretty much. All right, and this is going to turn out very bad for America, man. Because behind this, they're going to call for war drafts, all right? That devil Satan Yahoo told you last year that your sons and daughters will die for Israel in 2026. All right, and Israel's main adversary right now is Iran. That's who they got they sights set on to come against Iran, man. So this thing is popping off. United States President Donald Trump announced that an additional armada of U.S. military vessels is sailing towards Iran during a speech given in Iowa early Wednesday morning. In June, we obliterated Iran's nuclear capacity in Operation Midnight Hammer, Trump stated, addressing recent U.S. military operations. People had been waiting for 22 years to do that. They were about a month away from having a nuclear weapon. We had to do it, which is BS. Okay, that's what they said about all the nations in the so-called Middle East that they went into. All right, whether it was Iraq, okay, they said it was weapons of mass destruction, and they never found none. You see? Same thing they're saying with Iran, which, hey, if Iran does have nukes, then what's the problem? Doesn't America have nukes? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't NATO have nuclear weapons? China got nukes, Russia got nukes, North Korea got nukes. But see, you don't see America trying to go over there and dictate to North Korea what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see America going over to China and Russia trying to tell them to disband their nuclear arsenal. No. But see, they want to beat up on nations who they perceive as smaller and weaker than them, which Iran ain't no slouch. You know what I'm saying? Like, Iran in that region, they're pretty much like the mightiest military over there, pretty much. So Iran is not Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? And that's what America's about to find out, that Iran is not no, weak little puppy dog, man. You know what I'm saying? Iran gonna bring the fight to their ass. You see? It says, there's another beautiful armada floating beautifully towards Iran right now. Trump added, sharing that he hopes Iran will make a deal and, quote, should have made a deal the first time. On Friday, Trump told reporters present on Air Force One that the U.S. is watching Iran closely and has a, quote, massive fleet heading in that direction. So they want war. All right, Esau wants war with Iran, man. And they about to put all their eggs into this basket. Okay, so you got multiple wars popping off at one time. The Ukraine war is still going. You got Taiwan is going to pop off sometime soon. And you have this Iran, Israel, America war, man. This, pretty much already happening. All right? So we're definitely in that time of war, the time of wars and rumors of wars that Yahweh Shai told us to look forward to in the last days. This is it. We here. Let's get second Esdras. 16 in verse 17. And these are scriptures that, we go into all the time, but this literally speaks to the time that we are now, man. So these things are going to come out a lot, okay? So if you're tired of hearing it, turn off the video and go watch, cats fight with each other or something, man. All right? Second Esdras chapter 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. See? The beginning of wars, man. Okay, so the beginning of wars on the earth, all right, which signifies the end, is synonymous with famine, great death, all right, disease, mass confusion. Okay, all these things encompass the end of this current age, which is ruled by Esau. And the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right? So these wars are popping off, man. This is the time of war. Okay? And the scriptures say there's a time for everything under the sun, a time for peace and a time for war. This is a time for war. No doubt about it. Okay? And, verse 32, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars, okay, which shows you that military drafts, conscriptions, all these nations are talking about it, man. Every nation now is pretty much putting conscription on the table, especially right now when you look at the EU. All right, they're very seriously, really did, you know what I'm saying? Really, any day now, they can just make the order. All right, and I already know, you know what I'm saying, that America has this thing on the books as well. Okay, but it says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. All right? So many young men are going to die. Same thing as you saw in Ukraine. Pretty much now in Ukraine, a whole generation of men have been wiped out. And the women over there, they don't have no husbands. They don't have any men left because they all have died in that Ukraine war, man. You see what I'm saying? So what's happening in Ukraine, that's going to be worldwide once all these wars and conflicts start jumping off all over the place. This is what the scripture is saying. All right? And these are also part of the plagues coming upon the earth. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Luke. Like I said, just wanted to make this something quick through the Spirit. Luke 21. In verse 25, the return of Hamashiach, Yahushai. Luke 21 and 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity the sea and the waves roaring. And the sea and the waves represent the people. All right? The people are in an uproar in the earth. Okay, you read about that in 2nd Ezra 9. It tells you that, you know, when you shall see uproars of the people, all these protests, you know what I'm saying, people rising up against their government. You know what I'm saying? Just confusion everywhere, man. That's a sign that the Lord is visiting the earth and that Yahweh Shai is soon to return and, you know, put these heathen nations down. You see? Verse 26, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. That's what time we in, man. Our redemption is near. You know, so seeing these things should be increasing our faith. And, you know, you should want, if you're in the right spirit, you should be praying for these things to escalate, man. You know what I'm saying? You should be praying for these things to come. Because ultimately, the more that these things ramp up, that's the closer, you know, the more closer we are to getting out of here. Okay, like even a lot of these videos dealing with this news and stuff, you go on the comment board, right? You got a lot of people in general, but especially older people that's like in they, you know, 60s and 70s. You know what I'm saying? Even some, I even saw some in their 50s, man. They like, look, I'm glad that I'm old. You know, I got to have my time. You know, we had a great run, but I'm ready to go. That's what people are saying, man. Like, you know, people can't handle what's going on in this earth right now. All right, people are like, yo, I'm ready to give up the spirit. You know, I don't even want to deal with this shit no more, okay? And this comes from having a wicked ruler. And ultimately, you know, people just have a spirit to know that, look, this, you know, this is over with. There's nothing left to live for. And the heathen know, you know, look, we've had our time. And, yeah, it is what it is. You know, if I go to sleep and don't wake up tomorrow, I'm cool. You see? So that's what's going on in the earth right now, man. You know what I'm saying? That you know, men's hearts are filling them for fear, for seeing the things that are coming on the earth. Let's get that in the NLT. Luke 21 and 25 in the NLT. And there shall be strange signs in the sun, moon, and stars. And here on earth the nations will be in turmoil, perplexed by the roaring seas and strange tides. People will be terrified at what they see coming upon the earth. For the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Then everyone will see the Son of Man coming on a cloud with power and great glory. So when all these things begin to happen, stand and look up, for your salvation is near. Your pa, you see? So our salvation is near. And these are the things that, you know, we must watch and tap into, no matter how, you know, depressing was, you know what I'm saying? If you're in the truth, these things should not depress you, all right? These things should invigorate your spirit. You know what I'm saying? But for the world, these things are depressing. You know what I'm saying? But these are the things we really gotta tap into in this time, man. Like, you know, it's too much going on, all right, to not be tapping into prophecy. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakakadash. Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. And until next time, Shalom to the elect. Kum Yasha'Allah, Ba'Baba. On to the next one. Shalom.